Well, a very good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's Sail Talk Saturday. Mark, why are you wearing a Norwegian getaway shirt for our face-off of Radiance versus Panorama?
I didn't even think about that. Let me go change quick. Oh, shoot. I'm wearing this because in just 6 days, we will be jumping back on board Norwegian Cruise Lines. We will be visiting the beautiful Prima? Norwegian Prima. We'll be visiting.
As it says on the screen.
It does? Okay. Yes, in 6 days, we will be getting on board the Norwegian Prima. And we are very excited about this ship. I sound like Pat from the other two. Right.
Oh. I don't think that's probably not going to make sense to a lot of our viewers.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard Sail Talk Saturday. It's been a minute. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I asked you if that was on.
It is on.
Is it? Do you need to plug it and replug it?
I don't know. Can you still not hear us? Jean, do you have your volume turned off?
That's it. That's kind of funny. Yes. Is it us?
Is it us or is it you?
Is it us? Let us know in the comments. No, don't. No. Because it was lowercase and looked.
Well.
Hi, everyone. Well, good morning. Maybe they can hear us. Oh, here's a way I could tell. I could just log into the stream.
Okay.
We're good. Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Jean. I'm glad we have comments.
We believe it's us. Literally, anytime there is a technical issue. In fact, the internet, Cox is working on an upgrade in the neighborhood today. That's ironic that they waited till Sail Talk Saturday to do maintenance. But
I think they look at our schedule and then determine when they're going to do it.
That must be what it is. That must be what it is.
We're big enough that they follow us, you know.
Oh, those guys are taking our bandwidth down again. So in all seriousness, in 6 days, we get on board the Norwegian Prima.
Yep.
We are super excited about that. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Oh, okay. 5 by 5.
In and out.
First timer here.
Oh.
Well, welcome aboard the Philly Passport. We are excited to have you. The Philly Passport, you'll find from others in the chat that this is just a silly opportunity for us to geek out over cruising, talk about upcoming sailings that we have, talk about sailings we just completed, because we just completed Radiance v Panorama, and we're excited. What? It was like in this corner is the Carnival Radiance.
And in this corner, the Carnival Panorama.
We practice it. This is what we do on Valentine's Day. We practice our openings for Sail Talk Saturday. We didn't. No, we had some wine and cheese. Mom and Dad, we bought some cheese for Mom and Dad. I'm super excited. Anyway, okay, that's not why you're here. Hey, come on up. Oh, the light is in the way of little guy.
Oh, he was able to get up. He just worries himself sick over it.
Is that Cruise with Brandy here?
It is. Hey, Brandy. We have several other people that joined that we didn't acknowledge already, like Eric Maxey. He's here. Eric has been doing a whirlwind trip of Norwegian cruises recently. So yeah, we are excited to be checking out the controversial Prima.
I mean, kind of controversial, really. What's controversial about it is that food hall and the limited seating.
There's a lot more that's controversial about that design of that ship.
Well, it's not as controversial as the Norwegian Epic, which we'll be checking out later this year.
That is true.
Along with the brand new Norwegian Aqua that we'll be checking out this year, and the Norwegian Joy that we'll be checking out this year. I told you at the beginning of the year, I told you at the end of last year, it is the year of Norwegian Cruise Lines for us. By the end of this year, we will be platinum on board Norwegian Cruise Lines, which I'm super excited about. Our goal is to get to status in each of the lines. Go ahead.
By the way,
of course. What does that mean?
For any of you out there that are interested in getting on a Norwegian cruise and booking through me, also Mark, you might enjoy this information. They have rolled out their Cruise First program again at $250 with a $250 match. So regardless of whether you've sailed with Norwegian prior or you are a first timer, this is a great opportunity. I have several clients that I'm going to be helping out with this $250 match. It's a Cruise First certificate, so you give $250 towards the certificate, and then it matches. Norwegian will match that $250, and that is your deposit of $500.
How many of these Cruise First certificates have I purchased now? probably 8, I would guess, at
You
least
think
8.
it's that many? Oh, maybe.
I think it's 8. Yeah, I've purchased. So they've given me 8 times 250, a lot of money, $2,000. So thank you for the cruise first. I
Yeah.
love that. In fact, it's so funny because Rocky brings this up. Mark, you might be interested in this. I just said for February we're not putting anything else on my credit card.
That's why it came up.
January
You know,
was a rough month. February we've got to just let it cool down for the month.
It's fine. They'll bring it back. I see it constantly come and go.
No, but I think I probably should buy a couple. Okay.
Anyway, there's my contact information on the screen. Feel free to email me, rocky@thiscruiselife.com, or go to thiscruiselife.com/travel. And let me know that you want to go on a Norwegian cruise, and I will help you save $250.
That's awesome. In fact, we're recording our Norwegian. Part of the reason why I have this get up on today is we're recording our Norwegian getaway. Getaway. We're recording our full review today. We already have the Radiance recorded and first draft edited. We've got the getaway.
Spirit.
We've got Spirit. Carnival Spirit will be coming out
from
very
Alaska
soon.
last summer.
So I think I've shared this with the channel before. For the Alaska season, when we go on something later in the season, we wait until early the next season to put it out because the interest wanes in Alaska. And so super excited to be telling everyone about our thoughts on the namesake of the Spirit class, the Carnival Spirit.
Yes.
What else? We've got the getaway.
Yep.
Then we're gonna be doing some deck plan reviews between. So I've now been on the Breakaway Plus.
And the Breakaway.
You've been on the Breakaway.
Yep.
We're gonna do like a deck
versus another head-to-head versus
another head-to-head. Not really so much a head-to-head, more of a comparison of the two ships. I'll tell you, there are things to love about the Breakaway Plus class, but there are so many things to love about the Breakaway original class on Norwegian as well.
Which is interesting because there were only 2 Breakaway ships, but then 4 or 5 Breakaway Plus. So
the Breakaway Plus make them more money because they cram in a bunch more pay spaces.
True. That's true.
That's one of the perks of the Breakaway class is you don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's for another video. Yeah. Who else is here?
I know. I was gonna try to get there.
Gina's here.
Gina's here. My parents are here. The
Five.
Philly passport. We got them cruising with Brandy. Tom and Kat. Oh, well, that's awesome. Kat's going to be joining us on our group cruise.
Wow.
Tom and Kat.
That's awesome.
So, Kat actually sent me some texts this morning asking how to get into cruise control for her planner to figure out some excursions for the group cruise.
And our friend Eric just messaged that he's bringing a friend or two.
Technically
3.
We've already got one of them booked, and he's adding 2 more people. So
the group cruise is growing.
It is. It's great. It's great.
This is awesome. Our inaugural group cruise.
Yeah, we're at like 10 cabins right now.
That's awesome. I'm super excited for everyone to experience Margaritaville at Sea that will be joining us.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
What's up?
That I'm going to ask this group because they're the most. If you're watching live or you're watching recorded, you're the most loyal and engaged folks.
Yeah. What's up?
What group cruise should we go on in 2026?
That is a great question.
What
Now is the
cruise
time to
line?
start planning.
Yeah, now's the time to start planning for 2026. What cruise line? What ship? Let's lock in the low rates now for that. Maybe it's a Norwegian ship. It does not have to be a Norwegian. Does not have to be Norwegian.
I'd be
curious what they think.
I wish we could put out a survey. There's really not an easy way without doing just regular Survey Monkey, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that would be awesome.
We've got Poll Anywhere.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Book with Rocky. Oh, Gene, that is the sweetest thing. Oh, you did? I missed it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Kathy B.
Kathy B is here. Hello, Kathy B.
Kathy B. Hello, Kathy B.
Waypoint Explorers is here. Hello and good morning to you all. Kathy B wants to do an Alaskan cruise.
Highly recommend.
What do we think about doing a group cruise to Alaska? I feel like group cruises are usually to the Caribbean. That's just such a common group cruise destination.
That would be interesting. That would be an interesting choice. I don't know that people would want to be cold though all week.
That's true.
I mean, I don't want the people to associate dark nights and days and cold with Mark and Rocky.
Yeah.
Other than our hearts, dark and cold.
Oh, I don't think that's applicable here.
If Blake were on, he'd be giggling right now.
He would. Marcy is requesting Firenze.
Ooh. In fact, one of my friends just asked me to join them on Firenze.
Yeah.
They have a casino offer in June, late June. The problem is it's an exhausting time of the year for us.
I know.
We leave March 20th and we get home on June 14th.
It's true. Is it June 14th?
June 10th, June 8th.
It's got to be June 10th at the latest.
Okay.
Because it's a 10-night leaving on May.
Okay. Okay. on which cruise line?
On Norwegian Joy.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Norwegian.
I actually was thinking of
Who's
this
the obsessed one?
as an option.
Yeah.
Was doing a group cruise on Virgin Voyages.
Okay.
They just relaunched, or they're in the process actually of relaunching their group cruise, or their group options, their circles, and all of that stuff.
Okay.
And so I was kind of thinking, you know, since we're going on Virgin next month, I could
Essentially as a group cruise.
Wow. I was thinking that I could actually buy some my next Virgin Voyage vouchers and have those ready and handy for anyone that wants to join us if we do a group
But
cruise.
those expire, right?
They do, but 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, some thoughts that are
You think about
swirling
it.
around.
You think about it. Drop it in the comments on this video of what I mean. There's 40 different cruise lines out there. There's several new ones that
Fred
are
Olsen?
new. Fred Olsen, Oceania. I literally would like to check out Oceania.
I would as well,
But
it's expensive.
I mean, it's more
Sponsors?
It's more expensive than it's more expensive than I don't know that it's more expensive than Carnival, honestly. When you add in the drinks package on Carnival, it's like $1,000 now on Carnival.
That's the funny thing.
Oh,
I don't.
That's fair. That's fair. But I mean, when you compare what you get from the other lines, I mean, people continuously comment on it now on Facebook around how much the Cheers package costs now on Carnival. It's
Right.
Remember when we were looking at drinks, when Brandon was looking at drinks on Celebrity Solstice, and it was like your firstborn?
Oh
You
yeah.
had to, like, I mean, it was wild how expensive it was.
Right.
And so the reality is those cruises that have the drinks included actually are a fairly decent deal.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you typing?
I'm just getting stuff ready.
Oh, Carnival Panorama versus Radiance. In this oh, we're not ready. Okay. Okay.
We still got some
So
comments.
you all know. Oh,
where are we going in 6 days? Oh yeah, Kathy B wants to know where we're going. Mark, where are we going in 6 days?
I now know this. The Norwegian Prima. I'm super.
That's not where. That's what ship.
I don't know where. Oh no, I do know because it's the exact same itinerary we did in
It's
January.
the reverse itinerary.
It is. So we're going to Roatan, Harvest Your Money K, and Belize. No, that's Belize.
Yeah.
Cozumel.
And so in order, we will be going to Costa Maya,
Oh.
Roatan, Harvest Your Money K, and then Cozumel. So it's a reverse.
Go to Cozumel.
Yeah, it's an exact reverse order. I need to look and see what ships
I
are in
was just
Cozumel
gonna
with
say,
us.
who's going to be in Cozumel with us? Do we know anyone in Cozumel? It's really loud.
For you. Yeah, so that's Galveston actually is where the home port of the Prima is right now. So we'll be flying into Houston and taking Galveston limo down to the Galveston area and catching the Norwegian Prima from there. Yes, Mark.
Rocky's first ever Galveston cruise.
That's right. No, that's not right. He's so mean.
I wanted to see if you remembered he'd been to Galveston before.
I do.
See, he
That
teases
was,
me
that was the Carnival Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
He teases me that I don't know where I am most days.
I mean, you don't.
I don't.
Let's
true.
be real
It's
about
true.
that.
Okay. What else? Who else is here?
Cruising with Brandy. I couldn't believe the Old Victory has Shaq's Chicken, and I thought it was only an Excel class thing. She would like you to explain more about that.
So the Carnival Radiance was set to be the first ever ship in the Carnival fleet to have Shaq's Big Chicken.
Right.
But then something called COVID-19 happened and the cruise industry shut down. So literally Radiance was going to debut before Mardi Gras. She was set to debut with Shaq's Chicken she went into dry dock in February, March of 20, or she was supposed to go into, so she would have debuted well ahead, 6 months ahead of when Mardi Gras was originally set to debut. She would have introduced it to the entire brand. And so it looks like it was introduced on the Excel class, but fun fact, it was designed to be launched on Radiance to really give that wow, oh gosh, there's a new option. Let's get on one of the older ships. And then the new ships were to follow. So I hope that Shaq's Chicken or Chicken Shack will make its appearance on all ships going forward because we love those fries. And the cruise hack of subbing out grilled chicken for the fried chicken. I mean, I absolutely loved it. Now did I tell you?
What's
I
up?
think I told you they changed the biscuits for breakfast.
They're still
The biscuits are
not
much
good, right?
the biscuits are much thinner than they were. If you saw our review right here.
No, not
No.
happening.
Okay,
Nice try.
if you saw our review on Chicken Shack, you know that we went there for breakfast and we now are certified concrete mixers. Those biscuits are the driest things on earth. Even when you ask for extra sauce, they've made them much thinner, which absolutely helps, but they're still very thick. Who else is here?
Let's see. We've got whoa.
What are you doing over there?
Michael Pietrzak. We are going on sale on NCL and move from Carnival. NCL is moving a ship to San Diego, and that is the Jade.
And is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, Pietrzak.
Okay, great.
I actually had a good friend who her last name was also Pietrzak.
I wonder if they're related.
I don't know.
Okay,
she's now married with child.
You're going to say NCL and move from Carnival.
Yeah,
you know,
we're seeing that happen.
It's interesting. We are seeing that happen.
Yeah.
Our friends Jeff and Jared, our good friends Jeff and Jared, they shared. I don't want to get too much into the panorama that we're going to be talking about because I don't want to get ahead of myself. But they said that will likely be their final Carnival sailing for some time.
For a while, yeah.
For a while,
yeah.
and so they're thinking Virgin might be their new line or Norwegian, and so we'll see.
We'll see.
We are hearing that more and more though from cruisers with some of the cuts and changes Carnival has made.
Yes.
You will see in my Radiance full review. There were several things that I hated about that experience. They had there was a $700 charge on my account. Did I tell them that last time? No, because we haven't talked to you. We haven't talked to you since Radiance. There was a $700 spa charge on my account. I don't even know what costs $700 at the spa.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know. And so I went down to guest services and I said, hey, this really surprised me and I want to make sure that someone doesn't have my card. And she pulled up my account. She's like, how much was it? I said, well, there were 3 charges, X, Y, and Z. She's like, yeah, okay, I can see them. She's like, but clearly they were reversed just about a couple of hours ago. And so obviously it's not an issue. I said, well, how was $700 charged to my account? She's like, I don't know, but it's been reversed, so it's not an issue. And I was like, oh, okay. Do I have to worry about any more charges showing up? She's like, it'll show you in the app your charges. I mean, just very. I mean, and I was in the diamond line. Very kind.
We always are.
Like we always say, please, please, please. No matter what's happening on a cruise, the crew don't control those sorts of things. They don't get to make the decisions. Always be kind to the crew. Yeah. I was very kind, very friendly, but this gal wanted nothing to do with me, and somehow it was like my fault that.
Of course it was.
It was really a
you
weird
were on
experience.
the ship. That's the problem.
The gal at Java Blue, Dee ordered. So Dee can't have whole milk, and so she specifically ordered whatever substitute milk she had, and watched the gal make it with whole milk. And when she handed her when she was getting ready to hand her the drink, she was like, "No," she said, is that made with the alternate milk? Because I can't have whole milk." She rolled her eyes, huffed out, poured it out in front of her, and remade the drink. Like there were several things I hated on the Radiance, and the attitudes of some of the crew members was definitely something we hated. Anyway, sorry. I was getting a little bit ahead of myself.
You were. You got very energized by the comment from Michael about moving brands. I mean, that really hit you hard.
Yeah, it did.
He said that Radiance has Shack's Chicken, and so because of that, Pano is not the winner there.
I mean, honestly, that is one of the considerations, right? The food on board. But Pano has one of my all-time favorite restaurants at sea, Gigi's Asian Kitchen.
And it's Gigi.
Gigi.
Yeah.
But it's
Gigi's
because it's Gigi's. She owns the Asian Kitchen.
But it's called Gigi Asian Kitchen.
So anyway, it has that, and you went for lunch one day and you got those nasty noodles instead of the broth.
They weren't that nasty.
Did you go back for the broth? The one thing I told you to try for 7 days, he was on board. I said, this is the one thing I want you to try. Okay, that's okay. You ate blue iguana.
I did.
Which you can get on any Carnival ship. Except the Splendor.
Yeah, except we're not going on mini Carnival ships more. So
we've got a bunch scheduled this year. We're going
I
to
have 2 more.
The inaugural visit on Celebration Key, which we're super excited about to see that.
Yeah.
Have we told them about some of the, we haven't even told you about some of the new cruises we booked. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's a lot.
Okay, yes.
There's a lot. Costa Maya is so expensive. Oh, I guess I don't really ever spend money in Costa Maya.
If you stay in that port area, it is.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. Those port areas where they've got you they've got you. If you leave the port and you go to some of the it helps if you're traveling with someone that is fluent in Spanish.
Yes,
that helps.
We have experienced
that. But the shops and the places outside of the port area, if you walk a bit, those are much less expensive.
Right, they're more consistent with other ports.
Check's Chicken.
Yep,
Check's Chicken.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Bill Johnson, we've got a sailing on the Insider Islander, not Insider, in 2 weeks. Thank you for your videos, fellas. Very informative. Thank you so much, Bill. We hope you have a wonderful time.
In 2 weeks, please come back and let everyone know what you think of the Islander.
Yeah.
I always say, remember, it is not if you go in expecting the reviews on it, oh my gosh, there wasn't fresh sushi on the buffet.
No,
Celebrity had this and Celebrity had that, and I'm like, it's not Celebrity Cruise Line. It's Margaritaville. You're gonna see parrots all over the place. You're gonna feel the vibe of Margaritaville, and so we love it, and we hope that you have a blast.
Right. Yeshing said, morning. Finally, I don't need to work on anything this Saturday. That's exciting. Thanks for being here.
I'm jealous. We have a lot of work to do this Saturday.
We do. Chessel said that they've only been on Carnival and Virgin Voyages, and they really want to try NCL.
Interesting. What an interesting duo. Carnival, Virgin, very different experiences. Honestly, I've been on 58 Carnival cruises now. 58. And so it's a lot of Carnival that I have done. I've been on 54 Norwegian. I'm just kidding. It feels like it without.
Have you been on 66 Norwegian?
Oh,
Norwegian 66.
That's a goal, life goal. Carnival is obviously my most sailed line. Yep. Virgin, when I took my first Virgin compared to Carnival, I was like, what is this? What is this world? What is this life? It was amazing. Yeah. And so NCL, I highly recommend checking it out. Barbara Daw. It looks like, is it Barbara Daw?
It is. It's Barbara Daw. Barbara Daw had a birthday, and I will also give a shout out to Tom. Tom also had a birthday a couple days ago. Hey, happy birthday, y'all.
Happy belated birthday. I'm super glad to hear that your birthday was amazing. Where was Barbara on her birthday? Which ship? Okay, who else is here?
I don't know, actually.
Who else is here?
I know next year she's going to be on the Jubilee.
Oh, for her birthday? Oh, that's amazing.
5 days before secret trip on the Firenze.
Jealous. It's a secret trip. Just not telling anyone. We could go on a couple secret. Well, we can't fit any secret trips in this year, but maybe next year.
We have one scheduled.
We do have a secret trip scheduled this year. Okay.
Scott. Hey.
Hey, Scott. Welcome aboard Controversial Cruising.
How will you talk about people say NCL is like a nursing home on the sea? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Holland America line. That is the nursing home. Hey, no, it is. It is. I was there. I was the caregiver. No, it's fine. I enjoyed my time on Holland America, and I'm happy to go back.
And you even did an article, is Holland America just for old people? No, correct. It's not. There's a ton of stuff for all ages. Maybe not kids, but all for multiple generations to do. Did you see Barbara Daw was on Magic? Do you remember that now?
No.
The green atrium.
I know the green. Okay. I know the Magic. But
happy birthday! How was it, Barbara? Tell us how Magic was. We're curious to hear. NCL is I would say not much younger crowd, but it is a younger crowd. There's stuff going until late most evenings on board Norwegian, and so I didn't get that. Now Norwegian to Alaska is a much older crowd, but everything to Alaska. Yeah. Carnival isn't. Carnival is still a fairly younger crowd to Alaska.
Yeah, but you have less kids on Alaska cruises than you do on Carnival in the Caribbean.
Yes, oh, absolutely. But it's still a younger crowd than I would say Norwegian or some of the other Alaskan voyages. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what Virgin to Alaska is like.
That will be very well. We know there will be no kids.
We know there's going to be no kids, yes.
Let's see here. SC Cat.
SC Cat, hello, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Hello, Derek. Hello, hello.
Hey, Derek, welcome aboard this beautiful Sail Talk Saturday.
Don't be jealous. We do a lot more. I mean, maybe a couple. Just a
a few more.
Getting on the Carnival Magic tomorrow.
Wait, tomorrow, not a few days.
Yeah. Scott, get it together. No, I'm just kidding.
You're just like me, Scott. I get on a ship sometime soon.
So make sure, Scott, that you wave to Barbara as you're getting on and she's getting off the ship.
I think she's already off the ship.
No, she said heading back to Miami.
Oh, I thought she was off last weekend. Sorry. See, I remembered where you were. I just didn't remember which dates you were there.
I have to go back and fact check myself.
Scott, the weather here is getting warm. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today, which is awesome. Rocky's going to a rodeo with some friends. I'm staying home and editing videos because that's what I get to do with my free time. Okay, continue.
You can go out. You're not bound. I'm not shackling you to the house. No. If you want a bougie cruise, book a boozy cruise.
Yes,
that's so true.
Absolutely
so
true. Absolutely true.
Oh,
and there are some bougie ones out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey Brian, that's okay. Everything is recorded. You haven't missed. You've missed some good stuff. There are some funny moments in here, Brian, that you'll probably want to go back and watch.
Yeah. Family at sea. Scott, wait, tomorrow? How do the days work?
No, honestly though.
Yes.
How many times have we done that very thing where we're like, what day is it today?
Well, and it's weird because we're sailing out on Friday on the Norwegian Prima, and that's just messing up our schedule.
It totally messed with my mind because I was like, oh my gosh, we booked the flight on the wrong day. We booked it on Thursday.
Yeah, we did, for a reason.
Why are we sailing on a Friday?
That's the schedule that Norwegian got out of Galveston. I'm guessing all Royal and Carnival and Princess are already taken up those times.
Speaking of some cruise news, this is where my mind went because you said NCL out of Galveston.
Okay, go ahead.
MSC out of Miami.
Yes.
Y'all, they just opened the world's largest cruise terminal.
It's huge.
It can support 2 of their massive ships, their biggest ships in the fleet. It can fit 2 of those at the same time. We will get to experience and explore the MSC port in Miami in April. So again, there will be a lot of views and a lot of videos before then about the terminal, but that just opened and welcomed its very first ship. Super, super excited. Congratulations to MSC for that accomplishment. World's biggest cruise terminal.
That's massive.
Small cruise line when it comes in terms of their American presence.
Yeah, but they're working on it.
But the world's biggest cruise terminal. Cool.
Yeah. Gene said he's going on the NCL Encore for the first time with the line this Saturday. This is the same ship that charged a cruiser $45,000 to $48,000 for treating the flu.
Yeah.
He's making sure he's super healthy.
Yeah. Gene, if you haven't, I'm sure you have, but the video, Rocky, can you put it right here? Yeah. Norwegian Encore, one of my favorite ships I've ever been on. That was such a phenomenal experience. Loved the food, loved the drinks, loved the entertainment. Choir of Man, please do not miss Choir of Man. Go early, so if you love it as much as I did, you can go again and sit up close because you might get some free stuff. That's my cruise tip here. Loved the Encore. Loved the Encore. Oh, such a great ship.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is the ship. I just tweeted about this, so there was an update this week. I don't know if you saw the tweet.
I'm pretty sure I did. That they are kind of saying is a canned response.
No, they reviewed it. So WCCO reached out and they reviewed it and they said no, that everything is in line. The charges are all in line. Those charges stand. I mean, come on, Norwegian, $47,000. The amount of negative press that they've already gotten for this has cost them more, I guarantee you, than what they would have just been. They would have had so much goodwill if they would have said, hey, we're going to waive this. Now, the problem is...
Or reduce it.
I mean, to
a normal...
$20,000?
No, like to a normal healthcare cost. Like, there's no reason that their fares should be that inflated.
Rocky hasn't gone to the doctor of late. This is what doctors cost now in the Americas. In the wherever we are.
Yeah, in the U.S., not the Americas, because Canada is technically America.
Oh, okay.
North America.
Vitamin few days or 1 week before the trip.
Maybe vitamin C
Vitamin C.
or Victamin. I don't know. Maybe that's an actual
Maybe
thing.
that's
We'll have to look that
I don't
up.
know. Exactly, Evan.
Oh yeah, he's laughing at what
Oh,
Fantastic
okay,
said.
okay. Sorry.
SC Cat. Hi, we are sailing MSC Meraviglia next week. Oh, we upgraded to a deluxe balcony in the Oria. Then learned it is not the same as the Oria experience. We still keep the Fantastica. When you do an upgrade, that's the challenge with those upgrades. Oh, sorry. You're still going to have a great time.
Yes.
If you see Gavin, if he's your cruise director, please say hello for us.
Mark and Rocky say hello.
And the captain, whose name I cannot recall right now. I wonder if I have it in my notes. Anyway,
yes. Okay.
You're going to have an amazing time regardless. We loved the Meraviglia.
SC Cat, can you do us a favor and let us know? So the last time we were on Meraviglia, they were doing a buffet overhaul, which meant they had the same stuff on the buffet every single day, and they had little QR codes on the tables to get people's opinions in terms of the buffet. Right. I'm curious, they should by now, that was almost a year ago.
April, yeah.
That was almost a year ago. By now, they should have overhauled the buffet. Can you let us know? I'm just curious. We've not heard much about that since the overhaul, but it was good, but it was the same thing for 7 days, which was bad.
Yeah.
Like I was really sad. And the midnight buffet was so sad. Was so sad. And so can you please, if you think about it and you get a chance, would love to hear how the buffet is.
Yeah, just send us an email, info@thiscruiselife.com.
Or
we'll both
jump back on here.
Or jump back on here. That would be great. Hi, Connie. Welcome in. Good to see you.
Welcome aboard, Connie.
Happy
Good
Saturday.
to have you this weekend.
Jay Liu, we just booked Norwegian Prima in July of 2025 for Northern Europe. We heard they're stopping the sailing after summer due to environmental concerns, so we're happy we can catch it. Yes, there are some major changes coming to Northern Europe, so good for you on getting on there.
Should we go? Was it an expensive sailing? End of July? We could do end of July. We've got an opening. This is how we get in trouble. And this is why I look at my credit card statement and I'm like, what the heck? We need more sponsors.
Yeah. We need
a sponsor.
Yes, we need sponsors. Brian Shell, hopefully they will allow photos in the MSC terminal, unlike NCL. Yeah.
Ooh, Brian, I'm still hot about that. I'm still hot about that.
All right, moving on.
Do you remember that?
I do, absolutely.
Well, they might not remember that. Tell them.
We don't need to recount that. Oh my gosh.
Tell them what happened.
When we were getting ready to board the Norwegian Sky in their Miami terminal, NCL built this brand new, beautiful terminal, state-of-the-art facility. It's a gorgeous space. And we were like, okay, they paid homage to the cruise line. There's all sorts of historical facts. And we're like, we're going to take some photos and document it and share it with you. And from a very far distance, we heard someone saying, hey, no pictures. And we kept taking pictures.
Not that nicely. It wasn't like, hey, no pictures.
And then they said it again. And this time it was more aggressive. Yo, you, no pictures, no videos. Us? Yeah.
From across the terminal. Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe don't build a beautiful terminal then. I don't know.
It was very weird. It was, and now again, what I said in the short when I recorded it is, I get it. Like security, TSA, you never want to take pictures in there. Those are reserved spaces.
We weren't looking over there at all.
No.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for bringing that up.
You did a much better job sharing that story than I would have. That's why I turned it over to you.
You're welcome. Gene said he is very excited. He's thanking us for the info for Choir of Man. Do we have a great show? What do we have on Prima? Do you know?
I thought you looked it up. Oh, maybe we have Burn the Floor.
I don't know what that is.
Burn the Floor was one of the things we missed on board at Norwegian Getaway, and so we had to see Choir of Elvis.
Burn the Floor.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Well, if you read Brian's text messages, you would remember because the cast left in December and they hadn't restaffed the cast by the time our sailing happened.
That's right.
So we missed this exclusive to Norwegian Getaway show. Yeah.
That's fine.
Sad.
That's fine.
Instead, we had to see Choir.
I'm glad that we saw $1 Million Quartet.
$1 Million Quartet.
I'm so glad to say that we've seen it. We didn't have to pay anything extra for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Michael, any info on the changes to NCL Bliss since it came out of dry dock? Actually, no.
Are we getting on Bliss?
We don't have plans to get on Bliss right now.
Bliss is plus. Plus class. No,
yeah.
I don't.
There were some things that we had seen that they were changing, but I can't remember. I think it's very similar to what they did to Encore, where they added Spice H2O at the aft. added some more haven suites and that sort of thing.
We'll look it up and we'll share more details.
Yeah.
Answering, we got a question that came through in the private chat around, does travel insurance cover medical? Yes, it absolutely does. We have travel insurance. We've had travel insurance now for some time, ever since the appendicitis on board and Rocky missed his cruise. We didn't have it when appendicitis happened. We didn't have it when Rocky missed his cruise. We didn't have it when there was one other time where I was like, why don't we have travel insurance? And now,
Yes.
absolutely 100% we have travel insurance. Keep in mind, though, the travelers who got that $47,000 bill, they have travel insurance as well. But most travel insurance policies out there, not all, have a $20,000 cap. So even like, I've never worried like, oh gosh, $20,000 isn't going to be enough. I've never once had that concern, because how could anything cost $27,000 on a cruise ship? They can't do surgery. They can't do anything. So. And so just keep that in mind, that while it will help if you were to be in a situation like the NCL one,
Yeah,
it may not cover it all.
You still don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
We'll just put it at that.
Now, the good news is when I had appendicitis on board, because it was life-threatening,
yes,
my insurance did cover it, even though it was international.
Nice.
So anything that's life-threatening, even if you're traveling outside the country, I mean, unless maybe you have United Healthcare. Ooh, sorry. Anything that's life-threatening is covered. Appendicitis is considered life-threatening, so it was covered, and my health insurance paid all of it.
Yeah.
And so the individuals on Norwegian, they'll file with their health insurance, and then anything health insurance doesn't cover, their travel insurance will cover.
Right.
But still, 47,000.
That's a lot.
Crazy.
It's wild.
But anyway, yes. And you can find out more about travel insurance at thiscruiselife.com/travel. There are a couple of different options where it'll cover travel for the entire year, or just cover travel for a single trip.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you for that little plug.
You're welcome.
Marcy said that she wants champagne in her IV. I think that sounds wonderful.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's why it was just Moet and Chandon for that's how they treated the flu.
Maybe that's what it was. I am trying to set up a formal night group photo, but I have no idea where I should let people meet and when. Need suggestion.
And which ship was this again?
I want to say that's Firenze.
Oh, Secret Ship on Firenze?
I believe so. Let me see.
Okay, so places on Firenze to meet and take a formal photo. Definitely probably down by Ocean Plaza. That area always had some really cool photo opportunities. Remember, that's where we got our photo taken, in front of that beautiful marble railing with the picture of Venice behind you.
Well, but that was a backdrop.
No, it's wallpaper.
Oh, it is wallpaper. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so back by Ocean Plaza on deck 5, there is a space that has this beautiful marble
it's not
railing.
Called Ocean Plaza on
Gondola Lounge, that's Venezia,
Venezia.
Whatever. Aft on deck 5, there are some really cool spots. And if you didn't want to even do it there, you could go back into, what's the aft, the Terraza area? What's that bar called? Terraza Moda has some beautiful opportunities. So deck 5 aft, you will find some great spots if it's Firenze.
Yeah. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you. Since Blake is not here, we have to check in and see where Blake is. Blake actually was on Scarlet Lady while we were sailing on... No, it doesn't like you.
Doesn't like me.
Well, we were sailing on our Carnival sailings, and he reported back saying that he had an absolute blast. So
I was worried because they've only ever done Carnival,
right?
And I'm always worried when someone tries a new line. Always, especially we take this really seriously. We love cruising, and we want every cruiser to have a great time.
And especially when you book through me, like that's going to be even more of a concern. I want to make sure that you are getting the best deal and best experience possible.
I'm just sending like a happy Saturday. Happy Saturday.
But anyway, thank you so much, Marcy, for sharing the suggestion of hitting the like and sharing our live stream.
Also, she had a great suggestion at the very bottom for another photo opportunity on Firenze. Amari Bar.
Amari Bar
is another really cool spot.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Let's fly through these.
Not fly through.
Ty, I had a great time on Radiance. It was my first cruise ever. It was great to meet you.
Oh, Ty, congratulations on your first cruise ever. I love first cruiser. I love the first time experience. Either the first time cruising, or the first time on a new ship.
Yeah.
It's such a cool experience. You just experienced that on Norwegian.
I did. We had a large group of new to Norwegian, and it was my first time on a breakaway class ship.
Yeah.
But then we also met quite a few people that were first time.
And what happens when you're the first time on a new ship? Like, what happens?
It's the chaos of not knowing where things are at, where to go, what to do, how to make your vacation the best vacation possible. And that's one of the things that we love about it is we got to help people make that experience more better, as our favorite saying is.
And you get to just explore all of these new spaces. It's like onboard Norwegian Getaway. They've got this cool illusionarium.
That isn't used for anything.
That's no longer used. It's just a dead space.
Really sad. It's a really cool space.
Sad. It looks like at one point in time that would have been such a cool space.
Yeah, like they did little shows down there or something.
Yeah, it was so cool. But you get to explore and you get to find things like that.
Yep.
And then we get to tell you about them, which is super fun.
Right.
Ty, nice to meet you as well.
Yes. SC Cat will do. Thank you. You two are awesome. Thank you so much for the report back. We appreciate it. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. J. Liu, do it for Northern Europe. NCL Prima, they're letting us do double up on cruise next coupons per cabin, and also gratuities were included for the first 2 passengers, balcony room and out.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay, let's look that up. I'm curious.
Wow. So check it out. Make a note.
Okay.
Family at sea. Get yourself some Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses to record.
Brilliant. That's how we can record the terminal.
Oh. Sir, you can't wear sunglasses in here.
Sorry, you're going to need to take those off.
Sorry. Derek, 3 weeks until Carnival celebration.
Way to know.
Derek, are you guys ready? Are you excited?
Carnival celebration. I've been on that ship half a dozen times with Carnival.
Yeah.
With Carnival, obviously.
No way.
So that's part of the Excel class. There's Mardi Gras celebration and Jubilee.
Right.
Report back. We can't wait to hear.
Well, he's one of my bookings, so I'm excited for him.
Awesome.
Are y'all booked on the Aqua? Yes and yes. So we will be heading out to the Aqua for an exclusive preview that we were invited to in April.
Yes.
April 4th through 6th. The ship will not be sailing, but it is going to be docked in Boston, and we're going to be hopping on board and catching all sorts of content.
With get this, media and influencers were like, did this get sent to us? How did this get sent to us? We're super excited. Thank you, Norwegian, for inviting us on board Aqua. And
then we're going to be sailing on the ship actually for a 7-night itinerary in May because the inaugural sailing coincides with the inaugural sailing of World America.
Overlaps.
Coincides, overlaps. It's the same dates.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a little preview stuff on Aqua in April, and then the actual sailing is in May for us.
But that is what makes it a little bit chaotic for our schedules in March, April, May, June, because we didn't plan to get on the preview sailing. It was we're very happy and very fortunate, blessed to be invited to that.
And that our schedule actually allowed for it.
Well, it barely allows for it because we're on 10 days Virgin.
Yep.
We fly to Orlando for a couple of days before we head up to Boston for a couple of days. We're back here for 3 days.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we head out to World America's debut.
Well, we actually have something else in between that we'll be heading to.
No.
Yeah, it's just not posted yet.
World America? No, it goes Boston.
Oh, it's after World America,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Shoot, that's not open. I need to see if that's saved.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
So yes, Bliss is dumping Ocean View as well as Maderno.
As well as Maderno?
Yeah.
No. They're expanding Cagney's in that space just
Likely.
like they did on Encore.
Yep, probably.
Oh, gosh. That really hurts my heart, Brian.
Thank you for sharing.
Speaking of things that hurt my heart, friends that aren't coming on Prima with us.
If it would be different if he was already scheduled to go on Prima and then backed out. He didn't.
Fair. Okay. Love your videos. You guys are awesome. Me and my husband leave next week on Firenze. Yes.
Glasses purple, yellow, diamond. Is that supposed to be an emoji?
Glasses purple, yellow. Diamonds and circles.
Oh.
Diamonds and purples.
I don't think
that's the lyric.
You're going to scare people away.
Sorry.
We've already dropped.
Oh, no.
Family at sea, now that you have travel insurance, you'll never need it. That's okay.
Knock on wood.
I'd rather it be that than
I've
have to
already
use it.
used my travel insurance, and I will say it has paid for itself. So
Good.
the hurricane in Miami, I don't remember the name of the hurricane in August when Dee Dee, Darcy, and I sailed.
Yes.
Hurricane Irma? No.
Nope.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter what
Nope.
the hurricane's name
Nope.
was. But the earliest I could get out was 3 days, 2 days, 3 days after the cruise was done. And so I booked a hotel room. Darcy was like, "Are we just gonna sleep in the hotel? Are we just gonna sleep in the airport? Because I don't want to pay now 3 more nights of a hotel." I was like,
You go right ahead.
do you have travel insurance? Because I booked my Marriott. I paid for my meals. I ate. I didn't have a great time. Because I know that several people were stranded, but I submitted it to travel insurance, and within 3 days, that entire bill was paid in full. So more than paid for itself on the first claim.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Brandy is back working, so she'll watch later as always.
Fantastic. That's
Thanks
okay,
for being here, Brandy.
Thanks
It
for
was
being
good to
here.
have you as part of our morning. Days of Devotion or Day of Devotion. Hey guys, well, you got to have the right travel insurance. We
great.
bought $50,000 just for that
That's great.
Margaritaville cruise,
great.
and just cost $220. Yeah, that's
a
great.
great price. So the one thing that you always want to also make sure that your travel insurance has, some of the higher medical ones don't have evacuation insurance.
Yes.
You always want to make sure that you have evacuation insurance, because God forbid, you need to be medically evac. That can cost upwards of $70,000.
Oh,
And so just make sure that as you're looking at travel insurance, again, we're not insurance agents.
Yep.
There are all sorts of rules around what we can and can't say about insurance. But always make sure that you're looking at medical evac as well as medical.
And I pulled up my travel agent information one more time for you all to look at. If you head over to thiscruiselife.com/travel, scroll down to the bottom where you'll find the travel insurance options, both through Arch Roam Right Insurance as well as Bay Insurance. You can get free, no obligation quotes. They're not going to spam your email, I promise you. But you can build out quotes, and you can find out how much it's going to cost and what your coverages amounts are, and you can kind of move things around to make it work for you. So I highly recommend that you check that out. Not just because it's through my own travel, but it's there for your benefit.
We recommend it.
Yeah.
Also, just keep in mind, rates do increase as you age. I'm sorry, we don't control that, but as you get older, apparently they think you're going to have more medical problems or concerns, and so rates can be significantly higher as you get older.
Yes. Day of Devotion said NCL is kind of in their future list. They give him pretty good vet discounts too. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Margaritaville gives them free.
Yes, they do.
It's
5 o'clock somewhere. Not on the Magic. I'm sorry.
Not on the Magic. I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere there on the Magic, probably.
Mm.
If he goes to Getaway Island, it's going to be 5 o'clock somewhere.
I love that's on Magic.
Okay.
What was the drink you loved on Islander? Banana?
Havanas and bananas.
No, that was only on Paradise. That's not on the Islander. So on the Islander, you actually have a lot more options that you can choose from. Pink Cadillac, if you find the Pink Cadillac, that's always a good that's a margarita. Sorry, Pink Cadillac margarita.
Is that similar to the Pink Pony Club?
Yes.
The Frozen Banana Breeze at 5 o'clock somewhere bar. Yes, I have every single drink and every single bar listed on my phone, so I can answer those questions for you. The Frozen Banana Breeze. It's a boat drink, and it's at the 5 o'clock somewhere bar.
You like that one?
Are you yelling?
I am. Sorry. Matt Cook, morning.
Morning, Matt.
My parents want to know what the breakaway is. So many different cruise lines out there, when they build their ships, they categorize them by class. And the class usually identifies the size of the ship, the capacity of the ship, and what amenities are present. When Norwegian launched the breakaway class, it was in 2012, I want to say. And they launched it with 2 ships. It was the breakaway and the getaway. And what they ended up doing, which is kind of what they're doing right now with the Prima class, is they evaluate some things that went well and some things that didn't go well with the class of ship, and then they expand it to a breakaway plus class.
And they evaluate what else can we charge for.
Absolutely. So when they added the breakaway plus, that's where they suddenly had the go-kart track. That's where they added in the laser tag on the aft of the ship.
Yep.
And there's several other things that they did. Expanded Haven, which is their exclusive ship within a ship experience, and many other things. And so that's kind of one of the things that a lot of cruise lines do. They kind of evaluate their current fleet and then they expand it into a new fleet that is just a little bit bigger and a little bit modified from the previous version.
But most changed the class name.
Correct.
Norwegian is very unique in adding these pluses to their ships. Although Celebrity has done the same thing with the Edge class.
Yeah.
The Edge class.
Well, the Edge class moving on to Excel. I don't even know. Is that Excel plus? Edge plus?
But remember, Edge and Apex are two unique ships, and then you move on to the next
Beyond
two.
and Ascent.
Beyond and Ascent, and those are different than Edge and Apex. Modified. And then Excel is different than all of the first four. And so, like, more and more you're seeing this happen where they just keep the same class name, and Celebrity just calls them all Edge class.
That's what I thought.
At least with Norwegian, they call it a plus, so you know that there's something different.
Right.
Great question.
That is a great question.
By the way, one last thing. If you head out to thiscruiselife.com, there is an entire article that details the differences between Breakaway and Breakaway Plus classes on Norwegian cruises. So you can read through and you can see every single difference that's out there.
Now, I will say that article is now outdated because they've since dry docked several of those ships and made some changes, but it gives you a good
idea. Yep.
Day of Devotion, that is the tour before your luggage comes, plus videos. Let's see, what were we referring to?
That is the tour. We'll think about it. It'll come back to it.
SC Cat, that is us with MSC. First time on MSC, already made Rocky mistake on D upgrade. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. And not me, or rookie mistake, not Rocky.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great experience. It's still going to be a great experience, and you're going to have a nicer balcony and a better location. So all of those sorts of things are cool. The Fantastica experience, yes, you're missing a couple of the Aria experiences, like the exclusive area. But the exclusive area for Aria? I thought it was Aria. Oreo.
Fuzzy on the microphone. Sorry.
That was last weird. Okay. Who else is here? Let's get through everyone before we get to some cruise news.
Congrats on getting excited to the media sailing. We're super excited.
Thank you so much.
Next week, 20. Yes, that's correct. Matt Cook just booked the Venezia for May, the first annual cruise with some friends. Congratulations.
Awesome. That's going to be amazing. I love the Venezia.
So Day of Devotion, that was an actual emoji. That they put in. That's what I thought.
Purple diamonds, sunglasses. That's fantastic. I love it.
I just booked the Carnival Venezia for May annual cruise. We got that. We got evac, of course. Okay, so maybe that was more than that even.
Good.
Marcy Airline, put big gash in Tommy's suitcase. Got new luggage. There you go. Travel insurance came in to the rescue.
Jason as well submitted for his travel insurance for his luggage, but because he didn't have the receipt for luggage that he had purchased, they asked him, they're like, what do you consider the value to be? And he was like, well, I've used it, and so I can't put the full value, so I'll just put $100. And instantly they were like, yep, approved. Done. I was like, Jason, you're not going to be able to spend $100 and replace that bag. He's like, well, I know, but the whole point of travel insurance is to make you whole, to bring you back to where you were. And so anyway, be honest, of course, when you submit, because you do not want insurance fraud. But yes, they're really, really good at reimbursing.
Yes. Hey, Vince Las Vegas. Hey. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Enjoy the weekend and next sailing. Thank you.
We're going to make our way to Vegas one of these days, Vince Las Vegas. I don't know when. It's probably not going to be until June or July.
Technically, we do have several weeks of time between Prima and Resilient. We'll see. No promise.
We've got to do a lot of editing.
Yeah. Gene, my Louis Vuitton large roller bag got kicked and dented. Footprints showing. Sent pictures to the airline. No reimbursement. Expensive mistake. Again, cruise insurance, travel insurance is where it's going to be important.
Wow, that's ridiculous. It frustrates me. Jason, honestly, Jason's suitcase was ripped open, literally ripped open, and Delta said, that's normal wear and tear.
That is normal wear and tear.
I was shocked how terrible their response was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's opening weekend for baseball. It's chilly. Thinking about boarding Resilient in 5 weeks. That's exciting.
Are we really? Is it 5 weeks? Do we have airfare?
Yeah.
Do we have hotel?
Yeah, that's the one where we have 4 different airlines for 4 different legs of travel. United, Southwest, Delta, American.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I
think we're finally there.
Okay, fantastic.
It's time for Versus. Carnival Panorama against Carnival Radiance.
I think yeah.
No, we have been so busy talking
It's
and
been
catching
great.
up.
It's been great catching up. We've been gone for a while. So
have.
you boarded Panorama a couple days before I
I
did.
did.
I want to know, how
Yeah.
was the midnight buffet?
So I didn't actually eat at the midnight buffet. He asked that as a pointed question without you all knowing. The midnight buffet was from 11:30 until 2:30 in the morning, and my cruise companions that I was sailing with were all in bed usually by 10 p.m. I stayed up. I think the latest I stayed up till was 12:30, and at that point I was definitely not hungry. So I did not participate in the midnight buffet.
Okay.
I did have pizza. But the pizza was very slow both times that I went to get it. So, yeah.
And you, Mark? The midnight buffet on the Carnival Radiance, 58 Carnival cruises. It was the worst. It was the worst food I have ever had on a Carnival cruise. You will hear this in my full review. You will hear this in my hated. There's actually even a video clip in the hated section. Very positive. We are very positive. There's a lot to love about the Radiance, but I will tell you the change that they have made, moving away from pizza to this midnight buffet. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I say it in the video, I say it in the full review, but if Carnival continues this kind of level of they will lose people. They will lose more people, because it was absolutely the worst cruise food. It was the worst food I've ever had on a Carnival cruise. Yeah. It might be the worst food I have ever had on a cruise. It was bad.
What I will tell you all is that Meatballgate continues.
Shush. Shush. I mean, stick around for the Radiance full review, because there were several things that did not go right.
I agree with Michael. It's sad. They really just need a 24-hour venue like the local on NCL.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's part of the reason why I have become such a fan of Norwegian. Yeah. I love being able to...
I'm excited for the Reuben. I'm excited for the pretzel bites. I'm excited for...
the fish and chips.
The fish and chips were good.
I love the fish and chips.
The breakfast offerings were good. Like, the local is a great spot.
I love... Or Oceans, depending on which ship you're sailing on. Oceans. It's part of the reason why... I know it sounds silly that food is what's drawing me away, but...
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. The soups on board Radiance, there was not a single soup we didn't have to add salt and pepper to.
Now, I'm gonna go back to this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull this back up.
We're doing the
Yeah. The soups on Panorama were actually really good.
Normally they are. Normally soups are phenomenal.
We had a really good soup chef. We were really happy with it. I know Jeff loved his soups,
which is great.
Usually he would get 2 or 3 soups every night. Whatever soups they had on the menu was what he was trying. The temperature was perfect. It wasn't scalding where you had to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. You were able to dive in right away. But the flavor was really good. We were able to dunk our breads in it, and it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, we definitely did not have that experience on Radiance. In fact, several of the dishes we got during our sailing were bland. I mean, were bland to the point where I shouldn't make this joke, but to the point where I said to Dee Dee, I said, am I getting sick that I can't taste something? Like, but the food was not my favorite. No, Blue Iguana delivered in a big way. Even the buffet was pretty good. It didn't make my love list for sure, but it was decent for a Carnival buffet. Yeah. The new Guy's Burger.
That was good.
Oh, there's a new burger. Barbecue Whiskey River.
The Barbecue Rum Runner.
Barbecue Rum Runner.
Yes.
The coleslaw on there is crunchy. But they just got it on my sailing. So it just debuted on my sailing for Radiance. And they weren't sure if they were supposed to be charging people for it. So they weren't making it for people because they had to wait to get an answer whether or not they were supposed to be charging. Because Carnival is now so used to adding all of these upcharge items at all of the included restaurants. She's like, I'm waiting to get an answer whether or not we have to charge you for this.
I don't know how they would charge. They don't have a register at Guy's Burger. Just an observation.
Fair. But later on in the cruise, they realized it was included, and so I got one.
It's good. It's good.
But it was like 14 steps to assemble.
It was. There was a lot that went into it. But it was flavorful. It was a really good burger.
So here's something that's really cool that is getting me excited, and I think will get other cruisers excited. They're starting to preview some of the new options that will be available exclusively at Celebration Key. This barbecue rum runner is one of those burgers that will be exclusively available on the island, and so they're starting to do preview items.
So does that mean that there's going to be a Guy's Burger joint on the island?
There will be burgers, so I would assume there would be a Guy's Burger joint on the island.
Are we getting a little sneak preview without knowing what's going on?
I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
That would.
Guy's Burger joint, or
and it would be nice because that's included food, and we know that there's been a lot of controversy about what's going to be included on the island.
It's included once.
Correct.
One meal is included. So while it's included food, they're fast casuals. You will have access to one meal, which includes a main and a side, and that's it on your inclusions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. Some other comments that
Shame
came
on Radiance.
through.
Midnight
Yes.
Buffet. I saw a frowny face on the Midnight Buffet.
Where is that? This one.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we
Yeah.
already talked about that.
That's sad.
It
He's
is
a
sad,
local.
absolutely. But Scott would stay up to party with us. He's usually in bed by 10 o'clock. Kathy B said if we're in Vegas, we need to let her know.
Okay.
Yes.
Deal.
Yes. Shame on Radiance. Oh, yes. Shame on Radiance agreed.
Yeah.
Connie is also in her room by 10 or 10:30. So it sounds like the Midnight Buffet is not a big deal breaker for more people.
See, that's what I always say
Yep.
in the reviews.
Yep.
Take what applies to you
Absolutely.
and leave the rest.
Yep.
For me, once we've finished exploring the ship, we go to the shows, we go to the nightclub,
Yeah.
we like do all of those sorts of things. And it was rough. We even shut down the nightclub on Getaway. Remember that?
I do. Please don't let Prima be like that.
It was so much fun. We had so much fun. Even Dee Dee and I on the Radiance, we had so much fun in the nightclub. The DJ played actual music that people wanted
That's
to dance to,
Yeah.
which was so much fun. Although she did not play, unlike Getaway, she did not play Pink Pony Club.
Oh,
Remember when they played
I
Pink Pony
do.
Club?
I
Anyway,
do.
Anyway, I keep saying that today. I feel like
I know.
there should be a bingo
There
card.
should be. Marcy wants to know if the slaw is mayo based or vinegar based.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Don't know.
think it's mayo because I think I remember it being more creamy, like
Okay.
more white than it was clear.
Okay.
If you will.
Evan is heading out. Hey, Evan, thank you for being here for a little bit. For a chunk of the day.
So I avoided the Limelight Lounge like the plague.
Sounds like we had two very different
We did.
experiences.
Well, but you know me, I'm not a big fan of the club experience and to begin with.
Unless it's OXO.
Well, that's different.
Okay, Club OXO. Yep.
Because there's not loud music playing and it's
Fair.
hurting my ears and all
Fair.
of that. So I can confirm that the panorama still has the same layout,
Says the guy who teaches in a bar with super loud
but
music
it's not
to the point where people wear
No.
earplugs.
They're just protecting themselves. They're smart.
Sorry.
The let me try this again. The Limelight Lounge on the Carnival Panorama did still have the temporary bar. I
Yes.
can confirm that.
Yes.
We did go to a couple of comedians in there, and the line to get in was ridiculously long, expanding all the way down into the casino past the Heroes Tribute Bar.
Yeah. We saw that too on our sailing. We didn't go to any comedy.
So surprisingly, even though when we lined up, we were at Heroes Tribute Bar, we still got seats in the front center section, which
Okay.
was
Because
surprising.
most people don't want to sit in the front
That's
at a
true.
comedy show.
That's true. So that was good, but it was super warm. I remember that the temperature was definitely up there. And the nightclub, yeah, I never.
Oh, we had so much fun at the nightclub. The Amp It Up. If you ever get a chance to get the Amp It Up on
I never
at a
saw
Carnival
that. Was
nightclub.
that in the program on the fun times?
Amp It Up is a drink in the nightclub.
Oh,
It was
I thought it was an
delicious.
experience. Okay.
No, it was delicious.
is that like an AMF?
No,
Oh,
no, not at all. No, not at all. It's made with cranberry juice. It was
Ooh.
I mean, it was healthy.
that sounds.
It was
Sure.
it was good for me.
The 1 ounce.
You know, I was disappointed because Radiance only has one theater show, one playlist
yeah.
production show. Now it was the very, very cool. Highly recommend. Summer of '69.
Rock Revolution,
Revolution,
Summer of
Summer
'69.
of '69. Super cool set, super cool technology.
It is.
Highly recommend it. But there was only one show. What about you guys?
So we had Rock Revolution, Summer of '69 as well. Side note about that, I
Weird.
think it's a miss that they have the same show on 2 of their West Coast ships. Just saying. But they also have Celestial Strings on Panorama and Firenze. So again, there's a lot of overlapping, and I think the scheduling or the programming department could do a lot better with moving their shows and spreading them out.
Meanwhile, you have to fly to the East Coast to
Right.
see all of the same shows on those ships.
Right.
Like, I mean,
They
swap
should
your-
move stuff around.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
then,
not like they're so. It would be clever on them if they
Yes.
were like dropping people in from those ships. Oh, moving this person from Firenze over to Panorama
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're filling in.
right.
They don't
That
do
makes
that.
it easy.
They
but
don't.
They don't.
They don't do that. They
do
can't because you can't mix
Yeah.
up casts.
Right.
And so there's really no reason you have the same exact shows on the same coast.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then our third show was Soulbound. And I think, again, Soulbound is another show that should be on the East Coast, close to where Mardi Gras sails, because Mardi Gras has Voodoo Nights. And so you kind of have this good juxtaposition of this similar show theme that goes on between those two shows.
How was Soulbound?
Soulbound was good. It's one of those shows, I've seen it before.
It's not my favorite.
It's
Carnival
not my
show.
favorite either.
No.
But Celestial Streams was great, and I will say that the playlist cast that we had on, they did a great job. The Welcome Aboard show I was a little nervous about. Their mics and the music were not
Oh no.
at the right volume, and I'm like, come on, this is their final sailing as a cast. You would think they have this down. So I was a little disappointed in the Welcome Aboard show, but I'm glad that I decided to go back for the remaining shows because they redeemed themselves. And like I said, they closed out their sailing on board the Carnival Panorama, so they are no longer on that ship. They left when I left, but it was great getting to watch them close down the last performance of Celestial Strings. They came out into the atrium and did their aria, and it was just beautiful. They were putting their all into it.
Do we have any comments from Instagram? I forgot to ask.
We're not live on Instagram
Oh,
today.
we're not.
No.
Never mind. Disregard.
Apparently Jubilee has Soulbound. Did you know that?
Jubilee.
Maybe didn't when you were on
I mean, probably. I don't. I mean, we went to all of the shows. Did Jubilee? I don't think Jubilee. Jubilee. I got to see the debut of Dear Future Husband.
Correct, which is also on Firenze.
Which is now on Firenze, so we got to see both debuts of that show, which was cool.
Yep. Did it have Color My World on Jubilee?
I want to say yes. That was 23 cruises ago. 22 cruises ago.
Yikes. That's a lot. Tender over a spare show prop in Cabo.
Oh, yes. So because they share the shows, you could just tender over. Hey, you lost one of those light up umbrellas. We can tender it over to your ship.
Oh, one of the light up umbrellas from Celestial.
I love those light up umbrellas. I want one.
Yes.
I've threatened that I'm going to steal one at some point. Okay, so cruise news this week. What? I can't pull up my phone.
Are we done with verses? Is that what you're saying?
No, we don't have to be done with verses. What else?
Carnival
Radiance has a much larger included sauna than the Carnival Panorama did. I really appreciate that. It is co-ed, and so there's that. I didn't tell them about the injury I got.
No.
I got an injury on board to the point where they asked if I needed to go to the medical center.
Nope, good, thanks.
No, definitely not. I just read the Norwegian Cruise Lines article. I'm good. I'll bandage my wound on my own.
Well, wait a minute. Would it be covered by the cruise line because it wasn't an injury that
No,
you
it was a
created?
guest that created it.
still.
It wasn't the cruise line it wasn't the cruise line's fault. There was a woman on the top shelf of the sauna drinking her water out of a glass water bottle. And as she got up from the very top shelf, it slipped out of her hands and shattered all over the hard floor of the sauna, slicing my arm open. I was bleeding on the towel. Now, it was teeny, like you really can't see the scar. It was a teeny tiny little, I don't know how glass sliced me from across the sauna, but it sliced my, to the point where I had little drops of blood on the towel. I felt bad. And the crew member was like, "You're bleeding. Do you need to go to?" I was like, "I think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it."
Y'all, if you've met Mark, you know that he's a little dramatic.
It was great telling that story, though. I'll tell you, I told that story many times on the cruise.
I'm sure you did.
But yeah, so the sauna is much better on
Yes.
Radiance than it is on Panorama.
Yes.
Because on Panorama, they ripped out almost all of it, and there's 2 spots to sit.
Yeah. 4 people per sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Helen made it.
Hey,
Yay!
Helen.
Hope you had a good week as well.
Good news, and the rest is recorded for you to catch up
That's
on.
right. Michael, we agree with you. So let's talk about that in verses.
Yeah.
So Carnival Panorama has the digital if you want to call it that, the digital atrium with that
LEDs.
funnel, the LED, and then the little circles.
Were they working? Because on the dry dock, fresh out of dry dock, multiple of those panels were broken, or multiple were burnt out, or they were just scrambled.
So they were all working. I will say that not all of them were the right color.
So
Some of them were stuck on pink.
So it wasn't working.
Yeah. I don't know. I struggle with the Vista class atriums. I think I really like what they did on the Venice class on making it the St. Mark's Square, or whatever the Italian themed areas. Putting too much digital screens is a risk.
I completely agree. Completely agree with Michael. Radiance far exceeds Panorama. That floor to ceiling skylight that runs up the entirety of the ship. They've completely, so it has a similar feel to Panorama in terms of it's new, it's fresh, it's I mean, they did a really nice job. My only comment would be is it feels like Panorama in the fact that it's just, there's a lot of beiges and a lot of browns and a lot of whites and a lot of, it just feels like it could be honestly any ship. But that floor to see it, that what, how many decks is it? 8, 10 decks that go up, and you look up at that skylight and the mural, the tiled mural that's around it. I agree with you that the Radiance is a better atrium. Yeah.
Technically it's 7 decks from 3 to 10.
Okay. I know.
Here's the drama.
I know.
Where's your purple heart for your injury? Connie wants to know if you got a cute band-aid after the cruise.
So brave. So brave. Turns out I actually didn't need a band-aid. It stopped bleeding once after I
once you got the glass out.
Once I stopped bleeding. So they came in with a little broom and they wiped up the big pieces of shards, but then left all of the rest of the glass on the floor. And people were in there barefoot. Y'all, okay, cruise tip, please, please, please do not walk around a cruise ship barefoot. It's not good news. It is not good news to walk around a cruise ship. I saw people walking barefoot on the inside of the ship this cruise, and I was like, ew. And 2, there's stuff on those floors, and so people were like, how do I get out of the sauna? There's all sorts of these little glass chips, and I was like, I'm going to leave with my shoes on. That's fine, or my sandals on. So please, cruise tip, bring some sauna sandals if you're going to use the facilities.
All right. What else about the verses of the 2 ships?
What other are there? I can't see if there are other comments that are coming through or not. Sorry.
That's all.
You should have Jed for. I should have asked for OBC.
Yeah, you should have.
It's a good point. I shouldn't have. We managed. We managed. How was Embark?
Embark was actually super easy. So
same for us.
The challenge for me partially was the fact that we had done the sail talk Saturday prior, or at the time embarkation had begun.
That's right.
Sailing.
Yes.
So my boarding time was 12 to 12:30. I think I arrived at the cruise terminal around 11:30.
Okay.
Traffic was a little rough getting into the area, which I expected anyway. Got there. Interesting. I hadn't experienced it before, where they queue you outside a little bit before you can enter the building.
Well, if the building's full, they have to queue you outside.
I don't know that the building was full.
Oh, okay.
But it was good once we got through the queuing outside, and then that's when they split you off for priority and then everyone else. And everyone else was queued up inside, and we just walked in.
Wait, time out. They made priority queue up?
Well, it wasn't a queue. It wasn't. Well, yes, we queued up first. And then once we finished queuing, it was like one little zigzag.
Yeah, I get it.
And then it opened up, and I showed the lady when I entered that queue, and I said priority, and she said, no, everyone goes through this. And then once you're done with that little zigzag, then it opens up, and they direct you as you're entering the terminal building.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we entered the priority lane, and I mean, we literally walked right up to an agent.
Yeah.
It was great once we got inside, and then
all of the priority people are on board by that point.
Oh, I know. And then it was actually kind of funny. Brett, who was sailing with my sailing companion.
First time on Carnival.
Second time on Carnival.
Second time.
But first time with priority access, and he was loving the exclusive treatment that we were receiving.
Did you sit in the captain's lounge? Oh, no. The ship was open for boarding.
Yeah, so it was actually kind of funny. He got to see me kind of pull some weight there. You know, we went through security, and then we walked through that line where they have the drug sniffing dogs, and, you know, of course we had to wait with everyone else. and then it opens up. And if you're familiar with the Carnival Terminal in Long Beach, you know that they have all of the backdrops set up and all the people waiting, and then that long brick road that leads you to the entrance of the boarding process. And I walked behind all of the backdrop scenes. I just took Brett. I said, let's go this way, because everyone was getting their picture done. I was like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
And we walk over.
What if he did? What if he needed that?
Didn't.
Oh,
He didn't. I know
okay.
he didn't. And we walk up to where they have the rope, and they're, okay, we're now boarding group, I don't know, it was like group E or C, and we were group F on our boarding docks. And so we walk up, and I showed the lady, and she's like, no, we're only on group C. And I said, priority. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. Please come through. And so Brett got to experience that part of the boarding process, which he loved. And then we just ramped up and made our way over to the ship. It was really great.
Wow. When Paul and I boarded not Jubilee, what was Paul and Mai's last sailing before
Conquest.
Jubilee? No.
Before Jubilee?
Yeah, before Jubilee. Whatever it was, they were like, no, it doesn't matter that you're priority. You follow your boarding group.
Oh.
And I was like, well, that's real dumb, because I'm Diamond, and they made us. They're like, no, you follow your boarding group. You're group D. And I was like, this is dumb, because that kind of defeats the purpose of priority boarding.
It does.
Yeah.
It means that you have to arrive early, which that's
well, no, it didn't matter. D.
No,
we had to wait until. It didn't matter what time we arrived. They made us wait until it was our letter, which I was a little annoyed by. Little things. It's the first world problems.
Well, I mean, you've proven your loyalty to the brand, so you should get some perks out of it.
Always wear your Florida Sunday shoes.
Flip-flops. Those are our everyday shoes.
Kathy B, agree. Thank you. Brett needed that picture.
No.
Brett needed that. Brett, if you're watching, I'm so sorry that you missed your boarding day picture.
Oh my gosh.
But hopefully you got some blue. No, you didn't. You went to Gigi's right away. Gigi.
We actually, no. We went to Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse Brewhouse, and then we brought that to Gigi.
Okay, that's cute. That's cute.
When we walked up there, the host was like, you can't bring outside food in. And I'm like, please, we got it on the ship. It's not like we're bringing our own food. I didn't say it like that, but I was like, oh, I didn't realize that Gigi was even open, because last time I was on the ship, Gigi was not open on boarding day.
Yeah.
And she said, well, okay, for this time, I will let you bring it in. What? We still ordered food from Gigi. It's not like we were coming in and just using it as a dining establishment.
Weird. You didn't tell me that. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? So
how was your boarding day?
Okay, that was a long answer to the boarding.
Well, there was a lot that happened.
Boarding super fast. We got there at 9:50. We waited outside for maybe 3 minutes before they opened the terminal. The terminal wasn't even open yet. Walked in, walked right up to an agent, dragged sniffing dogs, waited in the captain's lounge for about 40 minutes maybe. I got a couple of shorts up. And then we got right on the ship. And so it was super smooth boarding, super easy to board.
Good.
We went out to the room, dropped our stuff off. Our room was clean. That's a perk.
That's
good.
The first time. Ours was clean as well.
It's the first time in the last year that our room was clean on a Carnival ship. So that made me feel good.
Yeah.
There was, it passed the Clorox test. There was some grit and grime on the, so you'll see it in my full review. Yeah. There is a little bit of grit and grime, but not nearly what we've seen this past year.
Yeah, no, in the Panorama, it was the same. We had a really clean room.
Clorox wipe test?
Brett brought a bunch of his wipes on, and we quickly ran through everything.
Yeah.
And there was no issue.
That's great. That's great news. Nice. So I hated my stateroom. Did you like your stateroom?
I did. I loved my stateroom, actually.
We had kids on each side of us, and their parents were in different rooms. And so they put the kids in the 2 rooms that flanked our room, and they were in the balconies across the hall. And so the parents would regularly yell to their kids from their room to come over to their room. And so literally yelling from their room to the kids in their rooms, get over here. Tyler, get over here. Slam back and forth, slam. They'd pound on each other's doors to try to wake them up in the morning. Like it was a miserable experience, honestly. And so there were a couple of times in the stateroom where, because the staterooms had no insulation on the Radiance, there were a couple of times that I shouted, and Dee Dee would giggle, she would laugh, but I was just There was one day I opened up the door and I just looked at the parents who were screaming down the hallway. I was just like, what? Like, I mean, just
You realize you're yelling at everyone in this area and not just your kids?
obnoxious.
There's a thing called a telephone in your cabin, and you can actually dial other rooms from that phone.
I mean, absolutely.
Just a cruise tip.
Obnoxious. There was a gal listening to her audiobook full blast without headphones in the gym. So we all got to listen to her audiobook in the gym.
And it was steamy from what I heard.
It was just Connie. I almost had some words. Dee Dee was like, just let it go, let it go. There was one time we were in the room. They must have jumped from the bed because they had balconies. They had upper beds, bunk beds.
Yeah.
They must have jumped off of the bed into the wall because our entire wall moved kind of like forward, and we were like, it was obnoxious. Was there a lot to love on Panorama?
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. There was nothing stand out to me.
Okay.
The experience was good. I mean, it was the Panorama that I remembered. So it wasn't anything too wild and crazy. It was an enjoyable trip. I don't regret going.
So you just said on Norwegian Getaway that you were excited to go back to Carnival so close to each other and compare the two experiences. Tell them more. I'm curious.
So one of the things that I used to love about Carnival is their crew were really personable. The crew would make it an effort to get to know you, especially if you went to the same person for your drinks every time, or if you went into the dining room. They would get to know who you were and know what your order is and anticipate things and just make it a really unique and fun experience. And I noticed this a little bit on the Liberty when we sailed in September. But that's kind of going away. You're not getting that personalized service. You're not getting the greeting by name as you're walking into the dining room. Like we were assigned time dining. And we have the exact same wait staff for all of our dinners. And the only time that they would use our name would be when they would walk up with their tablet and our picture would be on it with our name. And they would say, okay, Jeff, what would you like tonight? It wasn't us walking into the dining room and saying,
Mr. Jeff,
hi, how are you? So good to have you back.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really miss about Carnival. They used to be really good about
Carnival,
that.
Yeah.
Our cabin steward, he didn't ever use our names once, not once. Everything was very transactional. When we asked for our laundry bags to be delivered to the cabin, I had to call him, first of all, because he was done at 2:00. He was done.
One of those. We've seen that. We've seen that more and more as well.
And so I had to call him. It was like 3:30. And I said, hey, can I have some laundry bags delivered? He said, yeah, give me a minute. Well, it was like 15 minutes later that he finally came to the cabin, which was fine. I was doing work in there anyway. But when he finally did show up, he knocked on the door. He said, here are your bags. I said, thank you. And then he walked away. He didn't even attempt for me to be able to ask anything because I wanted ice delivered to the cabin.
No.
Didn't give me an option to even ask for anything else. He didn't ask how our sailing's going, how the cabin has been. None of that. It's just been really, really disappointing.
I mean, we've said it. I've said it for years. Carnival crew make all the difference. I mean, they're the best crew at sea. They did. I mean, I experienced that on Radiance. Now, I will say Radiance won in the dining room, it sounds like.
That's
because our servers, when they saw us coming, Mark and Dee Dee, hello, come on, welcome back. I mean, they were fantastic. They used our names. They would ask me, would you like a glass of 6 grapes port wine with your meal tonight? And I would say, yes, I would. And they would ask Dee Dee, would you like your Starry Zero or Starry? And she would say, yes, I would. I mean, they remembered we liked extra butters and they would always have extra butters. And so our dining staff was phenomenal. I don't know who our room steward was.
Yes.
I literally don't know. Now, again, I always say it. We had towels. The beds were made.
The room was nice.
That was great. But I mean, I don't know who our room steward was. The bartenders. I mean, the one casino bar, I told you, I didn't mention this in the review because it was a nit, but the one casino bar guy, he was just rude. I was like, okay, I'm not getting my drinks from you. I mean, just the guest services interaction that we had, the Java Blue interaction that we had. Now, there were Joanne at Alchemy was amazing. Was literally, she was one of the best Alchemy sous chefs, one of the best juniors we've ever had. She was phenomenal. But yeah, the crew. So I asked a question, Getaway Panorama, like where's your NCL Carnival?
It's still a really, the verdict is still out for me. I'm still really struggling between the two brands and which one I choose over the other. Right now, I know that Norwegian has some better value coming from their bookings because they include so much.
Yeah.
With the exception of 150 minutes of Wi-Fi, which is still really strange. But it's just, it's feeling more and more like Carnival is just out for their business at the end of the day. It's no longer that personalized experience. And I have a comment up on the screen from Connie Ledford that I completely agree with. It's what Margaritaville at Sea is doing.
Yeah.
It's what's setting them apart from the competition right now that makes me love the brand and what they're going for.
Which is why I think we've honestly fallen in love as much as we have with Margaritaville at Sea, both of their ships. Even though Paradise is an old ship and she has some age and it shows, the crew are phenomenal. The number of people that came up and shook our hands and said hello, and the bar staff, they remembered our names. That's what I remember loving so much about Carnival. Margaritaville at Sea is applying that to their crew, and it definitely is showing.
It does. We did have a couple of people that came through with some comments about their experiences. It looks like Michael and Spoiled Mama. First of all, hello.
Hello.
It looks like they love the Carnival that they've experienced still.
Absolutely.
So that's good. I'm glad that you all are still having those great experiences and those heartwarming moments.
Yes.
Helen, I love your energy. I live vicariously through you, especially since with my health issues. We bring her joy. Oh, we're so glad. Happy Valentine's. Thank you. And she agrees. No feet on board. Brandy, her experience was the opposite of that. Sucks that the steward did not, or I can't. That sucks. Her room steward actually said hello to her and Mike every day. And they had a bartender in the casino and the drinks were ready for them and everything. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that you're still having some really good classic Carnival experiences.
And where I think the brand is struggling is consistency.
Correct.
And I think that's where any brand struggles, right? Is consistency of execution. Like I said, the last year, our rooms have been dirty on Carnival. They struggled with consistency, but then we talked to others and they did not have that same experience. And so really it's a consistency issue. I will tell you, I would say we were probably similar. I would say that's a wash between Radiance and Panorama is like I said, I had no idea who our room steward was. No idea. We had everything we needed, so it wasn't a big deal, but I missed that person. Remember our room steward on Margaritaville at Sea Islander this last time? I mean, he was just great. Always there.
He was always there.
Always there.
Always there. He was present and ready to do anything that we needed. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
So
the jury is still out.
The jury is still out for me. It is, We've got several more of both booked. And so it'll be interesting to see how it goes on the Vista and again back onto the Liberty if the Liberty has improved. I mean, the Liberty will have gone through dry dock by the time they're on board. So hopefully things will be a little bit more fresh feeling.
I mean, I liked the Liberty a lot. I mean, I have 2 more sailings booked on the Liberty. I really I like the older Carnival ships.
Michael hit it on the head right there. He's grown tired of John Heald's spin on all the changes.
I kind of have as well.
Yeah, it's time to, they've brought in, I don't understand. They've brought in all of these corporate, or all of the cruise, what are they calling them now? Lee, your cruise director is one of them. Mike Pack,
the fleet cruise directors.
What are they doing? Make them turn them into brand ambassadors. And it's time to get rid of John Heald.
I wouldn't say get rid of him because he's loved and beloved. But I'm really tired of Cruise Hive covering every single announcement he makes as an article. Oh my gosh! Like it is so. Oh, John Heald had I mean, that's all their website covers anymore is John Heald quotes. It's so weird.
It is. Okay. It's time to move on.
Okay, yes.
So Connie said thanks for the latest review. She's going to give Paradise a try later this year, especially after their updates that they're working on. So April would be the time frame that I would say to start looking at getting on Paradise again, based on information that we have learned. So that's kind of where I'm going to put that.
So just a quick. I just want to quick
Yeah,
close
go
this.
ahead.
So verdict is still out for you between the two lines.
It is.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is.
I'll be curious after we experience Prima.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Prima, and you know, I'm always trying to go in optimistically for all of my cruises, regardless of what the brand is and all of that, just to, you know, have a fresh perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's
Great.
yours.
I right now, if I were to make a recommendation, I honestly would likely recommend, until I see some more consistency brought back to Carnival, I probably would recommend Margaritaville at Sea, which it's probably not a surprise to our most loyal folks because you've heard me talk about that, or even Norwegian from a value perspective.
Yeah.
From an experience perspective, Virgin, I think, is still phenomenal. I'm super excited to get back on Brilliant, or get on Lady. Resilient.
And then Brilliant next year.
One of the ships, and then another ship next year. So we're going to get to experience almost that entire fleet. So that's fun.
Yep.
But I mean, we have several carnivals booked, and so it'll be interesting to see how that experience changes. They're really excited about Celebration Key, and I am as well. They're also excited about Relax Away K. Relax away
at Half Moon.
K, which I don't really know anything about that.
So the major change that's happening with Half Moon K is right now you water shuttle over to the island.
Yeah.
And where the water shuttle is going to be the old end, and where the pier is going is on the opposite end.
Yeah.
And they're going to develop a pier, and there's going to be a bunch of new restaurants or dining options and beachfront over there.
I wonder if it'll all be included like it is today, or if they're doing this to add upcharge adults only areas, upcharge restaurants, upcharge.
They have to make their money back somehow.
Yeah, they are definitely going to make their money back. That's for sure.
Yes, Connie, let me help you. I don't know, by the way, I just want to put this out there.
What?
Yesterday, I posted to our story on Instagram that there is a super amazing deal if you want to get on Scarlet Lady. It's a great price. If you can afford to take 15 days off from work, or if you can work remotely, Scarlet Lady will be sailing from Barcelona on October 16th, and will be making her way over to Miami, arriving on October 31st, Halloween day. And if you're okay with an inside cabin, it's going to be $80 per person per day.
On Virgin?
On Virgin, on Scarlet Lady.
We already have a free cruise booked. Not a free cruise, a casino offer cruise booked at that time for my birthday. Dang it.
Yep.
Free is still better than 80.
Free is still better than 80. That is true. But a great price.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in getting on Virgin Voyages to try it out, Connie, or anyone else, let me know. I have some good options for you.
Oh, cool.
Michael and Spoiled Mama, the next HH4C is going to be on the Encore
for Alaska and Caribbean.
Oh my god,
that's cool, because I would love to compare Encore between Alaska and the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Now that Encore has gone through dry dock, I think it will be much better for the Caribbean.
Right.
When I sailed on it, it still had the quote largest laser tank course at sea, and that took up half the deck. So there was no place to lounge on that ship, and they've since ripped that out and put it in Spice H2O. So I think it'll be better for the Caribbean now, but it would be so cool to compare that ship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome that you guys are moving over to Norwegian and checking them out. That's awesome. Connie's going to take a look at the schedule.
Yeah, awesome.
Mark, what else did you want to cover?
I had just a couple of things in terms of some cruise news. Okay. You can now pay. We've talked a lot about Norwegian, it feels like, today, but Norwegian just launched their partnership with, or expanded their partnership with PayPal. So now if you want to pay for your cruise with PayPal, you can do that.
You know what else is funny about Norwegian? If you're booking, like when I see bookings come through and I'm making Norwegian bookings, you can pay by check still.
You cannot.
You can. Absolutely.
No.
I can process payments by check for Norwegian Cruise Lines. So now you have credit card, debit card, check, and PayPal. Can you pay with Bitcoin?
Wow. You can pay for Bitcoin on, is it Celestial? Who just did the Bitcoin? Who just launched Bitcoin? There's only one line out there that allows you to do Bitcoin. But yes, one of the lines out there allows you to pay for your bits or your coins or whatever it is. MSC launched a new advertising campaign during that big football game last weekend.
Yes.
With Drew Barrymore and another person. Was it Orlando Bloom? No.
Yes, it was. It was Orlando Bloom.
No, it wasn't Orlando Bloom.
It was Orlando.
Orlando.
gosh.
It was another person.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Ironically, the brand poked fun at one of the biggest things people complain about MSC is the cultural differences between Americans and other folks that sailed the line. It was British.
It was
in this
British
case.
in this one, yeah.
It was very interesting to see those commercials. So that was fun though to see a cruise line advertising heavily during the big game.
Yeah, we saw Carnival advertising.
Carnival put out their Celebration Key advertisements, and so there was some fun cruise news this past week.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Michael and Spoiled Mama said that they're doing Alaska June 15th through 22nd, and then the Caribbean is November 29th through the 5th. That's awesome. Oh, she's not going to be on them. And it was Orlando Bloom. Thank you, Connie.
Orlando Bloom? Orlando Bloom is no. It can't be MSC Drew. I got it. Okay, let's wrap this up because we are.
It absolutely was. He just has short hair.
He has gotten old.
Hey, be nice.
It is not Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
Tell
totally
me
was.
it is not Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Okay, wow. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna celebrate one last thing real quick before we drop off for the weekend. We got a recording to do. We got a getaway to the getaway. I do want to celebrate a milestone that we crossed across our social accounts, the ones that we track. So our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We surpassed 20,000 subscribers across all of the channels combined, which is amazing. Super, super excited, super humbled about that. We are approaching 11,000 on YouTube alone, which is amazing. But we crossed the 20,000 mark, which is
awesome.
Wild.
Great. Congratulations.
So we'll keep marching forward on the Instagrams and the TikToks and the YouTubes, and we'll keep marching forward on all of those. Thank you for being part of the 20,000. We love y'all, and we love that you are here. Yeah. And yes, Connie, I agree. Look at these. Oh my God. Anyway, okay, let's wrap up before we poke. And yes, congratulations. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you, Brandy. We hope to have a wonderful time. Hope you have a good time on your next cruise, whenever that is.
It's not for a little bit. It's not for a minute. Yeah.
She's got a little bit of time off. Michael and Spoiled Mama, thank you. Have a great weekend as well. Connie, thank you. Congratulations.
Yay.
Thank you, Matt, as well for that.
Kathy B, amazing. Congrats.
Yes.
Awesome.
We did pop a little champagne last night.
We did pop a little champagne.
With our wine and cheese and champagne.
We popped the champagne, and what did we add to it?
A little Chambord. Thanks,
a little
Mom and
bit
Dad.
of Grand Marnier. Chambord.
No, it was Chambord.
Chambord?
Yeah, it was raspberry.
What's that?
That's Chambord.
Okay. What's Grand Marnier then?
Orange.
Okay, great. We added some Chambord. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Yeah. Okay. With that, we're off to record Norwegian Getaway. Radiance is coming to the channel. We just launched a video. Actually, hey, if you haven't watched it yet, we just launched a video.
We did. It was what was it? No, it was More at Sea. The re-release of More at Sea. We finally got to sail on the Getaway.
No, finally.
Well, no,
we sailed the first. We were the first people ever to experience More at Sea.
And so we kind of gave our thoughts on how More at Sea has been implemented and what our experience was like, and we're excited to check out more ships with More at Sea to see how it is.
So if you haven't watched that, go watch that, or at least click play and let it play in the background while you're doing dishes.
There you go.
Or chores. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Happy Saturday. Have a good Sunday. I already put that up.
Okay.
And next weekend there will not be a Sail Talk Saturday because we'll be on Minutes plan with Norwegian. That'll be a sea day for us. So
it will be a sea day. Maybe we could do Sail Talk Sunday. Where are we on Sunday?
Sunday we will be in Costa Maya from 1 till 8.
So we have service.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We might do Sail Talk Sunday next week. Would you like us to come to you live from a beach? Wouldn't that be amazing?
I think that would make everyone a little too jealous.
Maybe. Okay.
All right.
Happy days, happy weekends, and we will see you again soon. We'll post when we're coming back to you again live.